Hi Taurus, welcome to your monthly for July. To be exact, this is basically for Cancer transition from June 21st to July 20th. So guys, this is a general reading, but it's going to address it through different kind of like methods. It's going to start with the Oracle and Tarot, then we are going to go into Lenormand, full 32 cards, and then we are going to go through Gypsy, which is going to be full 52 cards. So big times. And then we are going to wrap everything up with advice. So let's I shuffle the cards so I can actually start and you don't have to be subject to it. So let's start. What is on the bottom of the deck? Whoa. Separation. The time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And unrequited love, which is the text that I don't agree with, because it can be a whole bunch of things under that title. So it could be that there's something that didn't culminate, and you have the star reversed. You were fighting for it, but kind of the star was not there. The star is not shining anymore. This also could indicate that you guys are not healing from this love or separation. So we will see in more details. So what do you have? Love yourself first, forgiving and learning, romantic feelings, pay attention to the red flags, give your relationship a chance, it is safe for you to love, soulmate, that's how you feel. Let go of control issues, keep an open mind, and religious factors. Oh my gosh, this card is coming out massively. So religious factors is also a marriage card, commitment card. Basically talks about committing to the same sets of rules. So let me put this down and see what's up. There we go, we have another religious factors card, so it's going to be interesting. So Taurus, you had an eye on something in the past, and it says pay attention to the red flags, and the signs are cautioning you. So you were kind of cautious. You were playing with fire, but you were cautious. You had partial success with something, but you were not fully sure in which direction you want to go, or maybe the situation didn't evolve or just partially evolve. So Four of Cups reversed. Now this is a really interesting card, because look, all these cups are love offers or attempts to kind of like talk it out or do something, and all of them are refused. And when this card is flipped upside down, where everything is poured out, it could be a massive cleansing, it could be massive heart-to-heart talk, it could be massive, look, I don't like what you're doing, but somehow it resulted in depression and look, feeling out in the cold, or maybe somebody took advantage of you financially. This kind of is interesting card where, you know, obviously finances are being in jeopardy, right? Look at this. They're like mother and a child, and like the child, I don't know if you can see it here in the picture, look at this, the leg is wrapped, but the mommy is still looking over it. So, and this is a church, so it actually, you have to wonder why are they not looking for a refuge? Why is it that all these tools are in here? So why are these people not looking for the tools? There was like some kind of element of shunning, right? And this is also asking for us to kind of realize that, look, maybe we are shunned, but we have a friend, we have somebody here. And maybe this is how you felt in this kind of like whole kind of union. Maybe you kind of felt you kind of that somebody was an overlooked treasure, and that it wasn't as it seems. We, however, grew to understand those red flags and grew to understand that this kind of can lead to disaster, can lead to us feeling as complete outsiders. So you guys are coming to this month with Temperance reverse and romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. But Temperance reversed is like one of those interesting cards that is kind of very exciting in the upright position. Right place at the right time with the right person, the rainbow, right? It's creation. When it's in reversed, it talks about that one of those elements are missing. So maybe you have feelings for somebody, but somebody doesn't have feelings for you, or vice versa. Yeah, there you go. It's the soulmate. So this is the soulmate again here. It's certainly, you have two major arcanas. Now you have the hanged cat. I don't know why they call it the hanged man. This is the hanged cat, and it is in the reverse situation. So there is somebody, guys, in your life, but it's not the right time for it, and not the right place. There is like stars are not aligned, but you have like a clear idea that this person was a soulmate, and there is nothing is being done about it, right? Look, if you really look in this card, what is really interesting here, there is a broom, but look what is on the bottom here. Little mouse and cards that fell down, right? So you see, it is like looking from a different perspective, like being turned, like being uprooted, right? So but when is this way, the kitty cat is actually almost coming down. So it's time to find a balance. Maybe it was a lot of internal thinking, how to go about it, and what is up, what is down. It's certainly when the hanged man comes out, it talks about inactivity. It talks about inactivity on the outside, but you're like really doing lots of processing inside, right? And I can see like these red flags. It is really lots of things happening here, and you being a Taurus, you're like really trying to figure out how this can actually orient in your life, because look, this is a 5, and 5 links back to Taurus card, right, to May, and here you have Hierophant. This is you, Taurus, which also talks about rules and kind of like feeling kind of a little stubborn. So where are we to start this month? Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And there is like that 8 of Swords, which, unlike this card, which is like inactivity, this is inactivity but is due to fear. Because look, you know, being stuck somewhere, feeling blindfolded, I don't know if you can even see it, is this crystallizing? There you go, right? You see, kind of being blindfolded, not knowing where to go and not knowing where you will land. It is like kind of sending off this feeling, okay, I really don't know what is waiting for me. But the truth is, you shouldn't be looking outside right now. You should be looking inside, because look at this. This is some kind of secret, like the Priestess reversed is talking about something that is like processed from inside, right? It is like talking about inner knowledge, secret knowledge. This kind of would be your tarot reader. The Priestess is basically trying to figure out inside, intuitive way out, right? When, you know, is in reverse position, this means that somebody's hiding something. So look at this fear, hiding something and being really impatient. You really want to figure something out. You want to find something out, but it's kind of like really hard for you to go forward because you are not tapping into your own resources. So fret not, Taurus. You are basically being called to be a little bit more patient. I know patience is not a virtue, right? But for you, but look, the truth is, look, you have loved yourself first, and now you have forgiving and learning. And it says, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And there is Knave of Chalices. There is like some kind of love offer. There is something romantic coming your way. But you do have to forgive, really, and you have to figure out what is it. You may have been wronged, or you may have feel wronged, because this is the key, right? This is why we have legal system, because you have two people who both believe they were the right ones, and that's why we go to the arbitrator to kind of decide who is right and who is wrong. So this is letting go of pre-established concepts and try to figure something out. Now look at this. This is kind of interesting. Wow, the Tower. Whoa, it will be the interesting month. So yeah, I think the fact that you're going to realize that maybe somebody had their take on the situation, which has been completely valid, you might actually be shaken down by this. This is kind of like a card. The Tower is definitely surprising, unexpected and possibly turbulent event. Something that shakes you down and forces you to rebuild on the right grounds, right? Kind of, look, these basics maybe need to be renegotiated. Maybe you have to define what is the romance. Maybe you have to define how to go about it, because in the past you kind of like had fears that maybe you cannot make it together. You were hoping for it, but kind of things might not be looking up. So what's going to happen? You're either going to do it on your own, or you'll be forced to rebuild. Because look, after that you're going into your sign again. Knight of Pentacles is Taurus, kind of earth flavor, and this talks about a test, guys. You will be tested this month if you actually learn this lesson. So you do have things that are making you scared. So now you have Seven of Swords. You had an Eight of Swords. So Seven of Swords, look, the mice are partying while the kitty is sleeping. Somebody's taking things away under your nose. And give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So are you feeling that you are the one who is losing in this situation? Or are you feeling that you have to take what you can take? Again, you're not feeling it. You're feeling, this is kind of like you're a thorn between your heart and life. So One of Pentacles would be just like, you know, like I told you, the Temperance means not being in the right time, in the right place. Like one of those ingredients is missing. So this is what is missing. Ignoring a good opportunity. For some reason there is this blockage of feeling, no, you've wronged me, and there is the wall. And this is why this is asking you, maybe it wasn't sneaky behavior, maybe it was self-protective behavior, because this card can mean both, right? This card can mean, because most people see the cat here and most people see the mice partying, but why do you identify with the cat? Why don't you identify with the mouse? And I'm the little mouse who sees a cheese. So am I going to go for it or no? So it is yours, because in their world there is like no such thing as putting a flag on it and say, well, I have a flag and you don't, so hence it's my territory. So what basically is happening here? Discovery, and discovery of independence. So what is the opportunity, guys? There you go. There is this love. Love is knocking on your door, Taurus. King of Chalices. It's like the best mate you can find. You just have to get through it. Get through the blockage. Maybe there is a person who is not financially strong, and this is turning you off. And I really think this is close to some kind of poverty thinking. Maybe this person doesn't have what you expect them to have, but guess what? You are the master of the finances. So you and Capricorn, please teach them, teach all of us. We can all learn a little bit about it, right? So what's going to happen? It is safe for you to love. I'm sorry, I'm giggling on this card. Safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. But you think you're going to be foolish to go in that direction. You're like literally, Taurus, forcing yourself. And I can see it here. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to go about it. Fool card is really interesting. It's combination of things. Like I'm going to the right place. It's kind of, how to best say it, I usually have kind of this phrase of saying like it's thinking without acting, or you're acting without thinking. Neither of them is good. I don't like this card, to be really honest. I know this is the first card and the entire tarot is built on it, but it's fool is a fool, right? In this situation it is actually even worse, because this is talking about being foolish. This is talking about the hesitancy about the progress, right? And again, you are again going back to the finances. Is this a good choice? Will I be able to juggle my life and this person? Will this person be able to keep up, right? This is like a live fish and a dead mouse here. So, right, looking like the emotions are going up and down. And so you have on the other side, you see here you had 2 and now you have 2. So that means, right, like you see this kind of scale over here trying to kind of establish the equilibrium where you have the ones, sort of like you have your goal, you have an eye on the goal, but you are feeling that maybe this is not the best goal to go, and the fear is completely based on finances, right? And there you go, look at this. That's why you have a King of Cups and now you have Queen of Cups reversed. So you are actually not coupling with someone who is actually really good for you, who really actually is good for you. So I'm going to go back to this card for a second. This card is talking, and really I mean, it has its meaning, but what is really good in tarot is that these cards also have questions attached to them, and messages. And message here is saying, Taurus, redefine abundance. What is true abundance for you? Is it really money, or is it something else? So that is going to give you the answer for the rest, because look, it says the soulmate is here. You're feeling this person is your soulmate, and I can see it here, and it kind of like turn your life upside down. And Queen of Wands is like you, it's really like dating energy. It's like you're really feeling like go go go. There is energy going on, there is like sexiness, there is sex, it's partying time. Like really, it is somebody that is like really lifting you up, or you're feeling the presence of somebody who has this energy, right? There you go, you're feeling that king, you really like that. This is kind of feeling, oh my gosh, look at this, can you see this? It's a little Taurus sitting and holding his pentacle, feeling like a king. Your soulmate has a fiery flavor, not necessarily a fire sign, but as I'm saying, somebody who is bubbly, somebody who is active, somebody who could be a community organizer, somebody who really is enthusiastic. Oh my gosh, guys, please don't miss this soulmate. Look at how good this person is. It's a promise, and it's a promise of this emotional fulfillment. Look, having everything is here, guys. Other people are hoping to have something like this, and you're like, no, they don't make $500,000 a year, so I don't know, I have to think about it. Come on, get over it. So this is your outside. Let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. And then you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is really talking about the structure. It is, again, what rules, you kind of had these rules. You had that list of what can go, what cannot go. So you really have to figure out if this is really non-negotiable. This is your card, Taurus. Hierophant represents Taurus. So we know you're stubborn, and I do know that I'm Aquarius. I'm also fixed sign. And even though some people think this is really a bad thing, I really think fixed sign is a great thing, because When you set your mind on something, you're going there, and you're not going to change your mind. And this is why you're taking all this time to figure it out, if something can set you off in the wrong direction. This is kind of like you're wondering about lies. Somebody lied to you, or truth hasn't been told, or you lied to someone. This also could mean going inside and kind of like digging, right? Digging any tumor that you have inside. Now, remember opportunities. I was telling you about this temperance here, and then you had one ace reversed. Now you have a second ace reversed. Now, this is talking about refusal to take new ideas, right? You are not really being open to being one with someone. Lover's card, guys. Are you nuts, Taurus? Are you nuts? These cards you cannot make up. It is like 72 cards in this deck, and I have to create 10 basic cards and another 20 of clarification. So do you know what abundance of combinations I have? And I get this, so you guys figure out, because you know you're going to be really good for my business if you don't take this opportunity. You'll be coming and knocking on my door. I'll be busy for the century. So there you go. Did I not say keep an open mind? Keep an open mind, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And now you have 7 of Wands. You see, this is who you were. Like, you're like so really defensive and how to go about this, right? And this may be an even fight over here. See, these are all your fears, hopes and fears. You feel like that you're going to lose yourself. You feel that this is not going to end well, right? Ten of Swords. Or maybe the past hurts have bubbled to the surface. That's exactly what it is. Maybe this person hurt you. Maybe this is why there's this huge hesitancy. But you know what? I generally, and that's maybe where the separation came from. That's what it is. You have lost faith in this person. And guess what? You have to love yourself first, and that way you are creating really this strong, and I get it now. I get exactly what's happening here, Taurus. You do know this is a person who you loved, but this person somehow betrayed you. There were things that happened that render you speechless, and you felt being left out there. You felt being backstabbed. You felt maybe even cheated. And hence, you actually don't want to go back. But I really think this person, and we're going to see it in Lenormand and Gypsy, but I think this person is actually did it for, mind you, it's never a good reason, but I really think this person did it because you have a 3 here again. So it looks like it has been cheating. And it looks like somebody really did not follow along that one line. Like when I see two of cups, this is this and same as lovers, it's the essence of oneness. So when somebody cheats, you just like tear this, and that's where we see this broken heart, and hence you don't see this goal. So this is kind of like, yeah, let's set those goals, and I don't know. It says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Feeling lonely and spying. See, you cannot get this person out of your mind, Taurus. And I get it. You have been hurt. You have been cheated. But I do have to tell you that this person is, the regret that this person has is going to make this person fix themselves, because you cannot change people. They can only change themselves. And I have to tell you, as a trained life coach, very rarely couples can make it after cheating, but you are an exception. And cards always tell the truth, people. So I'm going to collect these cards and put the Lenormand spread on the table, so you don't have to wait 5 minutes for me to put it down. So I'll see you in a second. Hi Taurus, again. So it is really interesting. Here in Lenormand we have 2 significators only. Some other cards can indicate other things, but this is the lady over here. Let's see if I can lift this up a little bit so you can get more bird eye. And then you have the gentleman over here. So I see an echo of the previous read, because look, you have the cross and you have the coffin and you have the bear. So it was the financial issue, and it was something from the past, some secrets from the past, sneaky behavior, both fox and the snake over here. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 out of sinister 7 over here, that this kind of like maybe was caused by the partner. And by the way, either of these significators can represent you, and you kind of like felt this was not healthy. All right, but look, remember how I said that possible partner would really go into repairing themselves, because look, the tree and the sun, this person is really like, right, the tree grows in the sun, and the tree is representation of health. So right after something has been buried, like the new thing sprouted, right? And it's this new vision, and it's kind of like moving forward to loyalty and to this like expression of heart. This is, look at the soulmate is right next to you, and this is like, look, you have the key to your heart and to your house, like moving in. And for those of you who maybe have been temporarily separated, or like gave up on maybe just before moving in, but also could be a child. The child could mean also starting something new. And look at this crossroads here. So look, the heart, the clever, which is a lucky break, love, communication, moving forward. Like the mountain, it was something that maybe was supposed to go to the next level, but it kind of seemed to be unsurmountable because of all these issues, just like what we saw there. And the snake can represent that cheating, the snake can represent certain things were done, the fox can represent financial issues, right, because they are mirroring over here. Ultimately, guys, there will be still some fogginess this month according to this spread. Certain things will have to be cut off. This kite basically says, literally, just make a cut out anything that is bad. And there is still passion going on here, and this passionate kind of communication will be exchanged, and you're still thinking about some finances, or you're still kind of like trying to figure out how can this be made to work, right? And reputation is really important to you, so that's those religious factors. You really need that fog lifted, and if this is done, then oh my gosh, you have the ship and you have bouquet, you have the ring and the crossroads. So it is quite possible, and this might not happen this month because this kind of gives me more, but certainly here it's going to show, it's showing within a few months that you actually might be engaged, recommitting to this person, maybe even getting pregnant next month, and it's going to make you really happy. But something has to happen, some clarity has to happen, and every month is going to be like a part of cleansing. So maybe you're realizing, okay, well, this person did this, but I have my own share of it. And I know it's kind of lousy way to say that somebody cheats on you and that you have to take your own responsibility, but as a therapist I have to tell you that generally it is the case. Not maybe 50-50, but sort of like 80-20. There is certain neglect, and mostly there is communication mismatch that happens, and sometimes you even feel you communicated, but it is like what other person hears, like it's a sponge, and sometimes the sponge is full and the things are just not coming in and just like floating off like the water off the duck's back. So the case here is to find out the source. What is the true reason behind what has happened, the true motivations. If person was really trying to hurt you, or they were looking for love. And if they were looking for love, why they didn't find that love in you? And what prevented them to move with you, and why do they think they're healing? That has to be opened. There has to be kind of like really good boundaries set to why you wouldn't want these things to happen, and there's going to be non-negotiable if this ever happens. And don't make it easy on them at all. I am not even saying to take them back. I think they are a really good choice. I really think they regretted that. But allow them to show that to you. Allow them to demonstrate, because it takes 28 repetitions for something to become a new habit. So count 28 and see where this takes you. So guys, I would like to hear your comments, and we are going to the Gypsy spread next. But also, just keep in mind that I really appreciate your comments. This is how I communicate with you. This is how, you know, we both learn, like both sides. You learn about how I read, you learn I learn how basically situation reflected in your life. But also, I really appreciate if you subscribe, if you like, even if you dislike, and also if you share. So I'll be back in a few seconds. So let's read the cards Gypsy style. In fact, you know, like all these 3 different layers are creating completely different thing. And by the way, this is called Grand Tableau, like when all the cards are on the table. This is like 52 cards. And you're not going to see this anywhere on YouTube, and mostly because this is ridiculously hard and you have to absorb all of them at once. So the last 2 cards on the bottom were love and somebody who is no longer a friend, or you felt you lost a friend, or somebody who unfriended you, or somebody who you unfriended. So was that the person that we were talking about in the previous spreads? So this actually, now this seems to be a little bit crooked. Okay, there we go, this is better. So this actually has more significators, and I'm going to point them out for you. So one is wife, and that represents either somebody in a solid relationship, or married person, or even person with kids. But at the same time, significators can represent anybody, and if you see yourself in a situation where you're a wife and a kids, that means you're really on that trajectory, being a wife and having kids. Then we have the sweetheart, which is this one here, this one over here. It's reversed, so which means that some single Tauruses are feeling, yeah, the way we saw you feeling, kind of a little bit out of your element, unhappy, and the intimacy is not there. See, again, we have this death of something that started, a reunion is not happening, and falseness, the lies, you were all talked out, and yet you're feeling really, really sorry, really depressed. Kind of like you kind of feel it's not wise to go, and yet you're actually going into this undigging process because you are really unhappy. It was something that was a really bad surprise. And again, here we see the room. It's kind of was an intimacy, so it could have been the third person, right? That kind of messed up. So interesting part here is like we have lots of significators here clustered, because here is this wife, and then we have Lord reversed, and let me just put it closer to you here so you can see it, and then we have lover. So it will be half of Tauruses that would feel kind of energetic, the other half would be still kind of figuring out and dealing with the leftovers. So it just shows that it's going to be just 2 layers, somebody who will be moving on sooner and somebody who will be moving on later. So now this is really interesting. So this is for the people who could be in this couple situation that maybe it was a recent separation, because look, we have this misfortune, and again we have the money, and we have this jealousy here happening, and somebody, it could have been that the male partner cheated here, because we have a foe, and it was just simply a shock, and it's still going to have these ripple effects. So we have both money and thief. It is, and then we have this third party, pleasure seekers, and look, it's kind of like the household is no longer there. It's just like these are those religious factors, like, I mean, what is basically happening together, and you know how is happening. And it was, but look, you also have the priest, and priest generally here could talk about, especially with this, about the end. And it just really shows me that there's the trajectory of the end. But look, there's another trajectory of trying to see if you can put the home back on the proper basis. So it will be really tough, and I can see, like, I mean, that there's lots of emotions going on. But also it's kind of weird, because it also feels here that this person here also had somebody on the side, because I have 3 people here, I have 3 people here. Somebody was overly cheery but didn't really think about it. And you see we have this other enemy here, and secrets as well. So it is kind of interesting that it kind of like was a messy situation, and it could involve somebody younger over here. It could involve that the deal has to be renegotiated, and somehow it's lacking, and it's like lots of trajectory here. It's lacking hope, just like what we saw in tarot, and you're finding absolutely 1,000,001 reasons not to be there, but you're still thinking about it. So here it's going to be 75% of scenarios wondering if this is even good for you, and why the heck would I go. And this is why you're still feeling on one side is enormous love and connection, on the other side you feel betrayal, and oof, I don't want this. So it is like this storyline here is actually interesting, right? Because all of those are clustered I just told you about. But like, look at this one here, you know, there's like this bad surprise, the intimacy, feeling really, really, you know, sick, depressed, right? Doctor and Melody, you have it together, right? And it was the third party, and it could be that the third party has been committed to someone else, or you know, that was again this lack of loyalty, and look at the secrets, and it's because of that it stopped. And again we have this despair and jealousy, and all of a sudden feeling an enemy, and this is why we have the friend kind of like taken out. So going here is like, again, going back and revisiting. So it's this tower, kind of shaking things down, rebuilding them properly. That's the only way. So the question only is the question, do you really want to do it, Taurus? And if you do, I would love to know how you're doing, because as I said, I rarely say that. I think you can do it. I think you have this ability, and even the cards say that. Look, it was the death of something. It was a death of possibility of moving forward. However, it hasn't been communication, and you see here, I see the transformation, like somebody is really figure out that they have been their own enemy, and there is like the wedding in the upright. So look, we're having the servant and service, which also can be significators, and saying, look, it's going to be recommitting to that, and somebody will hope and wait for it to see if that's possible. So if that means anything to you, they feel equally bad or even worse than you. I mean, I know it's very hard when somebody kind of like stabs you to say, oh sure, come close, because you kind of have this feeling to be stabbed again. So I would really like to know your comments, guys. So for the end, I'm going to take one card for advice, so we can just wrap everything up for this month. And again, please guys, subscribe, like, even dislike, share. Visit me on the Facebook. Every month there is a contest for like, I mean, 20-minute reading with me. And yes, get your private reading, because that's the best way to find out about this, because most of it could be true, but the crucial element may not be. So www.cattarot.ca. And here we go, we have a card for you. Mountain, the strength. Okay, so what is the mountain? In Lenormand, this mountain is talking about something that is really hard to go over. It is something big, it is something scary, right? It's something that is massive. It's just like you had this like massive issue with someone. Like, mountain is usually covered in blankets of snow, and the sun is like felt stronger there, so everything seems to be on a higher level. And if you are to go over a mountain, that will actually represent huge strength. So what else do I connect with mountain, right? It's that firm base of a mountain. Like, mountain cannot collapse like the tower, right? It's, some people get really enamored with kind of climbing up on the mountain to the peak, right? And kind of like they see as something that really need to get on the top of it, right? But mountain cannot truly be conquered, right? So it is certainly in a sense an issue that you have to ask yourself, what is in front of me? Do I really need to know every nook of it, or do I not? So it makes no sense, I guess, to deny the strength you have at the cost of allowing yourself to be reactive and subject to external influences. So, you know, you have to figure out what is healthy for you. You have to go through your healing process, and if this person wants to come back to you, it would be good to listen. You don't have to do anything else but listen. But please do not strike back, because this is what this is talking about. Exercise your mountain strength. Be solid, be grounded in the earth. This is your element, guys. It cannot speak louder than it speaks, right? So do this without straining, just like the mountain doesn't strain, right? So the current situation calls for you to be vigilant, but not to the point of fear, of paranoia. It just reassess the situation, right? Be that rock of strength that you're capable of being. And the solidness of your resolve will be clearly communicated when you model yourself after this immensity of a mountain, right? Standing steady like a rock is what is called for you this time. So guys, don't make it easy on them, and repair yourself. I really want to know, guys, what you think about this reading, and please subscribe, like, and share. All the best to you. Have a wonderful month. I love you.